Bring new life to metal treasures with Kaiser Blasting and Coatings. From railings and fences to outdoor furniture and unique antiques, their expert team removes years of rust and weathering, then finishes each piece with a lasting powder coat. Trusted by industries across the region, now local homeowners and businesses can experience the same professional care. Visit KaiserBlasting.com or call 402-421-3559 to request your quote. Restore, protect, and make your metal shine like never before with the help of Kaiser Blasting and Coatings.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce is complicated. It affects every part of your life, your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions that it can take, it's times like this that you need a partner you can count on.
If you're a man facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today to connect with a local divorce attorney who understands the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Text GO99 to 323232. GO99 to 323232. GO99 to 323232. 1221 N Street, Lincoln. Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply STOP to opt out.
Big news, Nebraska. Love Omaha is now Love Nebraska. This is more than just a new name. It's a tribute to what Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at lovneb.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska Insider today.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. With the school year here, A1 Automotive reminds you that college students get 10% off any service, and they offer free tire repair with a valid college ID. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive or downtown at 11th and L.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Salt Mine City is your go-to brewery in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their Big Fatty 7-ounce hamburger or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Welcome to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert. Former football national champion, speaker, and author Aaron Davis.
Pain is a teacher if you use it. And the lessons in the carnage of pain sometimes are elusive. They hide, they're stealth. The work is finding the lessons through the pain. There's always a message in the mess. Depends on if we want to get dirty and look for it.
Nick Sainer, driving left side is Boyer, picks up his dribble, looking for some help, decides to go up strong with it, and the layup will rattle home. Jack Riley picks the pocket of BJ Bradford up the floor to Jack Ostrider. Watch out! Mafisi in the lane, kicks it out. 3-ball, Townsley, right wing, it's good!
Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. Welcome into another morning of The Drive. No Nick. He is out today. No AD, as I'm sure he's mentioned. He's got surgery going on. So wishing the best to the two normal hosts of The Drive here with you 9 to 11 on weekdays on The Ticket. Instead, you got Austin Norman, you got Jake Bakoven. We're back like we never left. We're enjoying our time on The Drive. We're co-opting the show. We're making it our own in some form or fashion. Big thanks to Doors Plus for their sponsorship of the show. Bach, good morning. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. I think we should probably talk about some travel issues because as usual, that's kind of how the show starts, I think.
You know, the only travel issue I think that I can bring up is I'm not used to leaving my house right around 8 o'clock. And directly outside of my immediate neighborhood is a school.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, school is back in session. And I've just not given a second thought to the fact that there's a school there in so long, because by the time I normally leave my house, there's no traffic. It's a super simple left turn. What I need to do tomorrow, because I'll be in with Nick tomorrow, is I got to take the right turn out of my neighborhood, hit the roundabout that takes me around.
Oh,
Problem is, there's a stoplight up there. But I'd rather, I guess, take my chances with the stoplight and the pedestrian crossing than the left turn across 4 lanes of two-way traffic.
Yeah, you just make your choice in life. I had that. I mean, we've all kind of had that, I think, with the traffic, construction here in Lincoln. I had the other day, I was making a decision like, well, that's not how I'd normally go, but I think it'll be faster. It's not ideal, but I think it'll be faster going through this construction. So, yeah, a little bit. I think we all kind of have a little travel issues through Lincoln lately.
I mean, is Lincoln maybe I know we live here. It's easy to bag on the place that you live for, but it does legitimately seem like Lincoln has more like construction issues and just so poorly laid out, and there's no good way to A, avoid them, or B, make your life easier when it's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I always like the way, I kind of like the way Lincoln's laid out as far as like the streets. I mean, you can kind of get anywhere in Lincoln pretty quickly. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to cutting one of those spots off, well, then that kind of takes that away. So yeah, and I don't know. It's one of those things where I always envision like, what's Lincoln going to look like when it's done? Well, it's never done, right? So
No.
There's always moving parts and construction here and there, and that's fine. But we'll see. We'll make our way.
This might be a very Northsider take, but I'm going to push back on you can get anywhere in Lincoln quickly. Lincoln's a big enough city, but not like huge. I've spent my entire life in the northwest part of Lincoln, not like Air Park necessarily, but I'm talking like my first house I grew up in as a kid was off of 27th and Folkways up there, a little north of Superior Street.
Okay.
Not necessarily easy, to get to, say, South Point, for example. There's not a great way. When you take 27th Street all the way down, enjoy your 45-minute drive. It is really what it felt. It probably wasn't 45 minutes, but
I don't
felt
know
like
how fast you were going, but
we were going the speed limit. It's 27th Street. It sucks. And now my family lives in the Highlands. That's really great interstate access. But let's flip this scenario around. My wife and I, when we first got married, we lived at 40th and Yankee Hill. Got in on the ground floor, some brand new apartments, great rate. It was incredible. Except at that point, I was driving up to Omaha every day for work, which, number one, was brutal. I would do it again. Appreciated my time up there and whatnot. But the 45-minute drive to Omaha that I was used to turned into an hour and a half because there's no easy way to get to the interstate from 40th and Yankee Hill. What, am I going to go west just to go back east? No, I'm going to suck it up, go to 84th, get to Old Cheney, take it to 70th, or 70th, to Old Cheney to 84th, take that all the way up, catch Cornhusker till you get to the interstate, and then you're there. I hate the interstate being so far north in Lincoln. That was a design flaw. And I am a Lincoln supremacist. Like, Lincoln is the superior city to Omaha. You will not convince me otherwise. But the one thing I will give Omaha is that they did their interstate better.
I was thinking about this the other day because you wonder, and obviously Nebraska packs the house as if Lincoln could host an NFL game. I think the stadium certainly could.
Mm-hmm.
I think the downtown area would be interesting, but I mean, it wouldn't be like there'd be more people, would there be? I mean, it's the same type of idea with what they do with Nebraska.
Do you think that Nebraska would sell out an NFL game?
I think so. Yeah.
Does it
At
matter
least
who
the
it
nuance
is?
of it? Yeah.
Would it be just like Chiefs Broncos moving a divisional game there? Would it be a Chiefs
Chiefs Broncos would definitely
interleague
sell out?
game?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're right. I mean, I think you would wonder if it was just something. We get the London treatment and Jacksonville comes in.
What if it was a preseason game?
No, I don't know. That's not enough. We've seen NBA preseason games here, and they did well, as better until you kind of kept throwing them at us, and I was like, all right, well, now that we've seen it again, and without a local connection, it wasn't there. I always remember I went to the Denver, Minnesota ones and. Didn't even care. I didn't even care Nikola Jokic was there because at the time he was still battling with Yusuf Nurkic, and I liked Yusuf Nurkic better. And Ricky Rubio was there, and I was cheering him on for the Timberwolves. But yeah, probably the best basketball player I've ever seen live, and I didn't even pay attention to it.
He was the guy. He was still the guy that was drafted during the Taco Bell commercial. At that
That's
point.
right. Yeah,
he was the guy that was still behind Yusuf Nurkic on the depth
That's right.
chart. Oh, good times, good times. A lot going on the text line here. David from Renew, don't be throwing shade at my boys about their starting subjects. David, look at me. I'm the captain now. We pick the topics. We make fun of them because we love them. Same way, different way than you do. Adam, Austin, have you ever lived anywhere other than Lincoln? No, I have not. I am Lincoln born and raised to my core. And here's another good pot to jump off. I'm a Central Nebraskan to my core. Lincoln is Central Nebraska. Let's get that out there. Bach, have you lived anywhere other than Lincoln?
No, I have not. But I don't understand the Central Nebraska thing.
Omaha is Eastern Nebraska.
Okay.
Lincoln is Central Nebraska. Mile marker 395 and west is Western Nebraska.
Okay.
It's a very simple breakdown. Very simple. Very, very
yeah,
simple.
I'm not sure if geographically I can agree to that. But okay.
It's not about geography. It's about culture.
Oh, okay.
How about that?
That'll work.
Rod in South Lincoln. East to west travel isn't so bad in Lincoln. It's north to south travel. That's the pain. I think it's all a pain. I don't know. Dave says the biggest problem Lincoln Central arterials like 33rd and 40th don't go all the way through town. Yeah, that's kind of weird. And that does put a little bit more of a burden on 27th, I think, especially. 14th doesn't go all the way contiguously either. That kind of bends and loops around. So really what I'm seeing is some central to western discrimination again. South and East Lincoln has it all. You guys are the favorite children. We get it. But come on, Lincoln, help the rest of us out. Aaron wants to know how many NFL teams are in cities the same size or smaller than Lincoln. The only one I can think of off the top of my head that's for sure smaller, Bach, is Green Bay.
I think Green Bay is the only one that got grandfathered in that would be smaller than Lincoln. But I mean, it's somewhat close to Milwaukee too, which is bigger than Lincoln. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think that would be the only one.
Cleveland's not that big. Cincinnati's not that big. Those are just over 300K.
Yeah.
Cincinnati's 314. Cleveland's 365. Who else would be in that conversation? NFC West, no. NFC South, no. NFC East, no. NFC North, we just said Green Bay. The other three are way bigger.
Yeah.
What's Jacksonville's population?
Yeah, it's just tough, I think, because, obviously that's kind of...
Oh, no, Jacksonville's a mill. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we know where... That's kind of the idea. We kind of know where Lincoln is. It's not big enough for pro sports cities to be a pro sports city, or generally, again, unless it's kind of grandfathered in, and it wasn't. We know Omaha was able to
well, here's a perfect one, Bob. Buffalo's population, 276K.
That's interesting. I also wonder, though, when you're like, Lincoln's population is Lincoln. There's nothing around it. Some of those kind of have the surrounding cities that might kind of factor into it if you kind of look at the greater area around it. So I don't know. I wonder. I've never been to Buffalo. I'm not sure.
I need to ask Jay about that when he gets in, because I didn't realize Buffalo was that close to Lincoln population-wise. In Buffalo, it's not like there's much else that way. I mean, Rochester is a little bit to the north and to the east. Syracuse is directly east. But then you're talking about Toronto. Like, is Buffalo a Toronto suburb? No, I don't think so. Like, you got to cut through a river just to get to the Lake. I'd throw Buffalo in that conversation. Buffalo is Lincoln. Toronto's Omaha, maybe?
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know. Old Dad 34, Lincoln is not even close to central Nebraska. It's perfectly close because it is central Nebraska.
Again, this is like conference realignment. You got to throw out geography here.
that part. Adam says, I've lived many other places. I can tell you it's all about perspective. Moved to a large area with many people. You really appreciate Lincoln and its traffic and how fast it is to get places. I will take your word for it. I've done my fair share of driving around big cities, and it just seems like there's flow that makes sense because, again, you hop on a major like interstate typically, and then you get off at your exit in a lot of these places. Sure, neighborhoods have their own quirks and charms. I appreciate Lincoln's for what it is, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just railing for no reason. I don't know.
Well, I think if there's not, I mean, it's really, I mean, the whatever it is, rush hour traffic in Lincoln is what can be frustrating. But outside of that, I mean, it's just, then I think it's pretty easy to get somewhere unless there's construction. So, I mean, I think it works. I mean, you just get, but like, yeah, compared to LA, my uncle's lived out in LA his entire life. And I don't think he's been on the freeway between, I can't remember what hours he does. Like, he does like 2 and 5. He says, just won't go. I just don't leave the house. And it hasn't done it in 30 years. It doesn't just say it. He just won't do it.
How often have you been out to visit him out there?
I've been out there several times throughout my life.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that your roomie for the Nebraska UCLA game this fall?
No, I don't know if I'm going to make it out there for that. I don't have any travel plans. I went to the Rose Bowl a couple years ago to see Dion actually there while we were visiting. So I've kind of got that knocked off my list. I don't necessarily need to go, but
your Rose Bowl impressions.
Love it. I mean, as a college football fan, absolutely love it. I was talking to DP about it the other day. Nothing particularly special about the building as far as like design or, like the screens or anything. It looks kind of old, but that's the
charm.
That's the charm of it. It really is. I mean, that's what people talk about, like packed in seats at Fenway, and don't touch Fenway, keep Fenway the way it is, please. Kind of same with Wrigley. There's some of those buildings that historically you just want to keep there, and the Rose Bowl is definitely one of them. There's been the idea of throwing it out there. Kirk Herbstreit especially loves it, of playing the championship game there every year, which I don't know if I completely love, but I don't completely hate it. I think that would be unique and cool. Have to get the championship game off of Monday night eventually, I think, for a sport this big. But in any case, I love the Rose Bowl. Just a lot of history there. Nebraska is actually somewhat well represented there. They've got like kind of odes to all the past teams that have played there. Nebraska's got its own bricks laid down. So you're going to take a picture in front of that. And then there's a Keith Jackson statue up front. And as a broadcaster, what's better than that if you love college football?
Oh, absolutely nothing. Number one, that's an off-campus stadium, right? Like it's UCLA's home stadium, but it's not on their campus.
Right.
Number two, you hit a sore spot about college football's national championship being played on a Monday. It is a Saturday sport. It is a Saturday sport. I don't care if the NFL wants to do its Sunday thing and then throw in Monday and then throw in Thursday. Fine. You can have 3 days. Fine. Maction on Tuesdays. Okay, whatever. College football is intended for Saturdays. Why are we playing a game on Monday? Why? The biggest game of the season is being played on a Monday. And I also don't hate the idea of the Rose Bowl being the spot for the national championship. But this is where I'll say Central Time Zone is God's time zone. Play it in the middle of the country. It gives everyone a chance to watch. No one has to, stay up incredibly late or put a weird time in their day. Play your championship games in the Central Time Zone. It is better for everyone.
That's like, it's not just the Monday night. Like oftentimes, and I think they've done a little bit better in recent years, but used to start at like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
It was like, what is going on? How are they in college basketball do the same thing? It's just like, this is the peak. This is what we've been waiting all year for. And it just feels like an awful time slot.
Even for the players.
Yeah.
It just play it at 6:30, play it at 7. Why do you have to wait the extra hour till 8? I've never understood that. I will never understand it. But they did not expand the tournament. So I can deal with it on college basketball's front. We'll go to break here. We do have more to get to on today's show, including Nebraska has only one single-digit number remaining. We'll go through the guys that have been awarded those by their teammates coming up. Our Iowa's quarterback issues, the same as Nebraska's late-game one-score issues, and some college football hot seat rankings. All that ahead on The Drive. He's Bach. I'm Austin.
Big news, Nebraska! Love Omaha is now Love Nebraska. This is more than just a new name. It's a tribute to what Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at lovnep.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska insider today.
If the power is out, traffic lights might be too. If you come across a dark intersection, treat it like a four-way stop. See more tips at les.com/safety.
Salt Mine City is your go-to brewery in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their big fatty 7-ounce hamburger or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Industrial Services reminds our drivers distracted driving is the #1 cause of accidents on our roadways. Drivers, put down your cell phone. Stop texting and driving before texting and driving stops you. Industrial Services offers local professional waste management. Call 402-467-3581 for quality customer service. Established in 1915, Industrial Services cares about our kids and reminding our drivers, don't let your smartphone make a fool out of you.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert, sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's The Drive. Welcome back. Austin and Bach with you here. Before we get into Nebraska football and its single-digit jersey players here, Cubsker wants to know, Bach, who is your Maction school?
Ooh, I named off my Power 4 schools. It used to be Power 5. And I could name those off because I identified those early growing up and cheered them on. But I don't know if I've ever had a Maction school necessarily. Probably depends on the year and who's got the fun quarterback. I would say, for obvious reason, Ohio. Ohio's been my Maction school, with Frank in there and then Tim Albin after that. So, that would be closer than anything. I definitely cheered for Ohio and Frank Solich for the entirety of the time he was there.
If you didn't, you're a bad person.
Yeah.
Right. That
exactly.
wasn't Frank's fault, So good on Frank Solich. I believe he's the max all-time winningest coach, is he not?
I think so, yeah.
So good on Frank for that. Yeah, I've never, picked a Maction school necessarily. But yeah, I was always rooting for Ohio if I saw them pop up. I am not anti-Northern Illinois.
I like
Jordan
Illinois.
Lynch, right? Those early mid 2010s teams were pretty interesting. I like Thomas Hammock. I think he's a pretty darn good coach. Western Michigan had that one pop-up year under PJ. Wasn't mad at them for that. And then PJ Fleck came to Minnesota, and the rest is history there. Central Michigan, fire up chips. Yeah, sure. Fine. Whatever. Kind of in on Toledo.
Sure.
Not anti-Toledo by any stretch of the imagination. Akron will forever, hold a place of animosity in a lot of Husker fans' hearts for the hypothetical and what if, and they deserve everything.
We get the payback this year, right? Yeah.
We're supposed to.
Well, it rains.
See how that goes.
We'll see what happens.
The MAC team, though, that holds probably the biggest spot in my heart, though, is Ball State.
Okay.
So the reason it's Ball State is because that is the first Husker game I ever attended. It was Nebraska Ball State in the Callahan era. And
that was such a good game. That wasn't supposed to be, but yeah.
So it was me and my dad. I think we're sitting in, I'm trying to think, would have been like the southwest-ish part of the stadium, I want to say. And, Nebraska goes up 43-42, dramatic fashion late. I did not watch the final field goal. Like, I couldn't stand.
You couldn't do it.
I couldn't watch.
In your
I
first
couldn't
game.
do it. I had my head buried in my hands. I was praying praying and just making sure that field goal does not go in. And dang, if it didn't go in, it worked. Power of prayer is real. And that was my first Husker game. So shout out Ball State for the enjoyable experience and for losing.
that was such a good game. I remember just the Nate Davis quarterback. I always remember his name because he was quite a problem for Nebraska that day.
I guess it was 41-40, not 43-42. My bad.
Yeah, but it just came down to that. And I'm trying to remember within the realm of what that season was. That before the USC game, after the USC game, because the USC game kind of once that imploded, the whole team kind of imploded. I was trying to think.
Well, it would have been before, right? Because this is back when we had Sanity and we had non-conference played before conference games. So it was the week after. So they beat Nevada 52-10, went to Wake Forest and won 20-17. USC came to town, beat them 49-31. And then it was the Ball State win, Iowa State the next week, and then came the everything else. Lost to Missouri 41-6. Oklahoma State 45-14, A&M 36-14, the 3-point loss to Texas 28-25 on the road in Austin, and then the infamous Kansas game.
Famous
in 2007. Right. The other reason that season stands out to me is because I got to go to the Ball State game. 41-40, nail biter, shouldn't have been that close, but exciting nonetheless. My brother Jackson got to go to the Kansas State game that year. Saw Nebraska went up 73 points. 73-31. Joe Gans throws for 510.
Yes.
That's the game he got.
Well, I mean, those are both good games. And oddly enough, in one of the worst seasons in Nebraska football history. But man, what a time. What a time. I mean, that was, going into that season. After that first game, after beating Nevada, Nebraska extended Bill Callahan and said he's everything that you would want in a Husker. The culture is here. The foundation is built. We're moving forward. Nebraska was, at the back end of the top 25 for much of the start of that year. And then it just all imploded and fell apart. And it's weird because the defense completely fell apart. I mean, that 73 points they put up is nice, but they gave up 76 to Kansas and 65 to Colorado there within those 3-week span as well. And so it just completely fell apart. And people go back and say, Kevin Cosgrove was the worst defensive coordinator or the reason it fell apart and all that sort of stuff. And it did in 2007. But you have to remember, 2006 is a pretty darn good defense. And the year before that, they had 50 sacks. I mean, they had a few, a good run. And then we saw, Adam Carricker left, Stuart Bradley. I mean, they lost some key guys. And it just, I just, who would have known that it would have gone that way, and they had to. I mean, they threw out. I mean, Bill Callahan knew the writing was on the wall right after the Oklahoma State game. I think they fired Steve Peterson, so you kind of know what's going on there. So they just gave it to Gans, and as down as we were about the defense and the Callahan era being over, Gans put on a show, and it was fun toward the end. Even that Colorado shootout.
Joe Gans, properly rated, overrated, underrated in Husker history.
I hate to say it because I would love to. He's one of my favorites of all time, but unfortunately, I think he's a little bit overrated because a lot of people really enjoyed. I mean, he was setting those single game records in that end of the season, and then started to kind of set some different records in the next season. Because again, at the time they didn't have as much passing yards. They were still transitioning from the offense. Just a couple of years into it. But I think he's probably a little bit overrated.
But not overrated in so much as he was bad.
Right.
Overrated in so much as he gets brought up a lot, and it says more about the quarterback position at Nebraska than him.
Absolutely. And and especially just, kind of saying his play on the field is not overrated. It's just that he had a short tenure. He had a year and a handful of games.
Yeah, so 5 games as a sophomore, 6 games as a junior in 2007, splitting a little bit of time with Sam Keller. And then the one really incredible year in 2008, 68% completion, almost 3,600 yards, 25-11 touchdown to interception ratio is solid. But of course, that's the first year of Bo Pelini. Some better memories associated with that time as well. I kind of lump Joe Gans into like the bacon category. Like, I like bacon. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy it. I'm going to take a bacon cheeseburger over a cheeseburger. But like, there was a stretch block where you're online like I am, all those memes about bacon, right? When memes were first a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, bacon makes everything better. Oh, bacon.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
no, we can pump the brakes. Like, yeah, it's good. We can appreciate it. But it also doesn't deserve that level of conversation. It's a normal good thing, not a, oh my gosh, I have to tell everyone about Joe Cans all the time. That's where I'm at with it.
Well, it's funny. I'm glad that I met somebody that also doesn't slobber over bacon. I mean, I think it's fine. But I don't need it. And there are certain things that you added to it and it makes it really good. But just kind of let's go through it then. Joe Gans or Adrian Martinez? Who would you take? You got one game.
I think I like Adrian more, but I think I would probably have to go with Joe Gans. Which, I mean, Joe Gans wasn't exactly like the running quarterback, but he still ran for 260 yards.
Yeah, no, that's what I really appreciated about him is he would pick up the 10 yards if you needed it. He was mobile enough, but he was so good at passing. That's kind of what he stuck to for the most part.
Joe Gans or Tommy Armstrong?
That's again, I'd go Joe Gans.
Ooh, I'm taking Tommy.
Yeah, YOLO Tommy or
the good and bad. You can't separate them.
Yeah.
You can't separate them. They are who they are.
That's a closer one. I like that. I like that one, but I would still go with Gans, and that's why you asked me if I think he's overrated. And I was sitting here, and these are the kind of some of the tops of the statistical charts, and I'd still take him. I mean, I would just like that goes back to the question of what if you had somehow had Gans for 09. Right. Yeah. Or had Taylor and 2010 version of Taylor.
Right.
They had Taylor actually on the 09 team. They just didn't use him. But some version of that for 09 and what could have played out would have been spectacular. And you also just wonder what would have happened if Gans would have started or Keller never transferred, over and they might have had a plan over him. Gans wasn't the highest recruited quarterback, but man, he was fun to watch. He was tough. How about this? I think always the tougher one is Zach Taylor, Joe Gans. Zach Taylor's a Big 12 Player of the Year. Yeah. Less mobile, tough as nails, would take a lot of hits. Obviously led Nebraska to a Big 12 North Division championship, if you call it that. Zach Taylor, Joe Gans.
That's probably the truest coin flip, I think, for me. Gun to my head, I'm probably taking Zach Taylor. Just because I think Nebraska hasn't necessarily had a guy like that since. And I'm kind of a sucker for that style of quarterback as well, right? I mean, I like my quarterbacks to be able to pick up that first down on their own, right? If they can scramble for 7 on 3rd and 5, that's fantastic. But that to me has to be secondary. And I know Nebraska comes from a long line of running quarterbacks with the option game where we're passing is secondary. But in the game of modern football, I really prefer that my quarterbacks are pocket processors, right? That is the baseline requirement of their job. That is where more plays take place than anywhere else. So if you're skittish in the pocket, if you don't have good awareness, don't have good presence, your footwork is, sloppy, if you can't handle the pressure, great, you can run, you can make those miracle plays. But that was always my deal with Adrian was it was great that he could, bust off that long run against Buffalo when plays broke down, right? Fantastic. It's so nice to have that ability in your quarterback. But I'd also rather, build a support system where everyone knows what to expect from the quarterback, where, hey, this is a guy that can get through his reads. He's going to put the ball on time, on target the vast majority of the time, where it's great that a guy can be Superman outside of the pocket and make some magic with his legs or make that 1 in a million throw. But I think a big issue, with Adrian and other Husker quarterbacks of that ilk, maybe Tommy Armstrong at times as well, was you shouldn't need it to get to the point where you need a Superman play. That should be a once or twice a month sort of thing, not he has to make magic for this to be successful. If everyone else in the team got better at the basic things and doing those really well, it would take away the need for some of that Superman.
That's funny. I mean, I think your Peyton Manning fandom is rubbing off on you a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit. Because I'm the complete opposite. I've argued with the different folks on here, and it'd always be an argument about whether you want some more mobility in your quarterback or kind of the pocket passer. And I think Nebraska, traditionally, like you said, has been better off. I always bring up ever since they switched to this idea that they need a pro quarterback in the system. In 25 years, what has it been? Or I guess a little bit less since Jamal Lord, 22 years or so. Mm-hmm. They've had one quarterback drafted, and it was Tanner Lee, maybe the worst of all of them. So it was just, I don't know. I mean, that's not to say that it can't work. Obviously, Dylan Moore of that ilk, and mm-hmm. hopefully he's drafted, not just drafted, but drafted high. So we'll see. I mean, more than anything, you got to work your system, get the best talent in that you can regardless of it. But I've always liked a little bit of dual threat aspect to it, and that's why it would make it maybe hard for this one in particular. Joe Gantz or Taylor Martinez. Taylor doesn't have a whole lot of what you're talking about. He did form them. I mean, remember, he was the Big Ten player.
That is so unfair of you to ask me, because Taylor Martinez was formative, right? Like, Taylor Martinez goes against so much of what I stand for. My quarterbacks, like you're saying.
Right, yeah.
But there's just a different emotional level attachment to this dude is a legitimate Heisman contender. This dude ran roughshod over the Big 12, and I can't just cast him off like a, disowned son. Like, I can't do that to Taylor Martinez. The dude had his issues as a quarterback, but that was fun.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun. Like, he had a difference-making skill.
Oh, yeah.
With his legs, then I can be fine with that.
His wasn't running for 15 yards when he needed 7. He was darting down 75 yards if he got a hole.
Yeah.
But if you hit him, he might fumble.
He might fumble.
Yeah.
He took contact even worse than I did.
He was
standing straight up.
Impact, yep.
Bracing. Oh, God. With the side step with his left foot, not stepping into a throw ever. Gosh. Also, okay, we got just a couple minutes left here in the segment. I'm going to ask a question. Maybe it's going to get me raked over the coals. Was Tanner Lee that bad, or was it team context?
I think it was a combination. I mean, he had the timeliness of those pick sixes that was
atrocious.
Yeah, but
I've never seen a screen pass taken back for a pick six before, and Tanner Lee did that right in front of my face. So I will grant you that.
I mean, I remember him going in that draft process. I think it was Jerry Jones sitting on the sidelines, and they had a tape of it and saying, "Okay," and basically, "Oh, here comes a turnover. This guy's coming in." And so, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think part of it was the hype, right? That we bought in. I'll never forget. I think we had Chris Mortensen on here in 93.7. I think he said, "Yeah, this guy is going to be a first-round draft pick," and he was not.
No.
So I think it was part of that, but I mean, the team fell apart completely. That's where I kind of get. He's kind of built like your quarterback, right? And so in certain matchups, in certain games, he was able to kind of build better statistics. But that was the whole him and JD Spielman thing. They would go off once they're down by 30. They really would.
Well, the Oregon game comes to mind. I mean, you throw those interceptions in the first half, you're down, 28-35 nothing at half?
Yeah.
You come back and make it a one-score game at the end?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think his legacy is probably worse than he actually was, but...
We call that the Callahan.
It was pretty bad.
We call that the Callahan.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
Callahan won a North Division title.
Callahan was not as bad as what we would think of, but again, the drop-off from... the expectation of Solage, a 9-win season to losing 70-10 to Texas Tech that first year, it was an experience.
I will not argue that Bill Callahan or Tanner Lee were good for Nebraska. I will not go that far. I also think they get maybe a little bit worse rep than they deserve because of, like you're saying, like the emotion surrounding everything with Frank Solich, the big change, being an outsider. Some of that's on Callahan, absolutely, but a lot of that's on Steve Peterson. A lot of Tanner Lee is just who he is and who he was at Tulane. But let's not pretend like he had the best infrastructure around him at Nebraska either. And, the best quarterbacks, help raise the culture, help raise the infrastructure around them. Don't get me wrong. But why are we expecting Tanner Lee to be a ceiling raiser?
Because that's what we were told coming into the year. That was the whole idea. Remember, that's kind of the same topic was we were waiting. And it's like with Mike Riley's system, it was like, okay, Tommy's not perfect for it. Let's see what we can get out of it. And we kind of landed there with at least 9 wins, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Tanner was supposed to come in and be, okay, now he's got his guy. Here's the next Sean Mannion, or name your favorite Oregon State
Sean
quarterback.
Mannion.
Right? But it was not. And so I think that's why it's still crazy to me. You think Mike Riley got 3 years, but he really got 2 years and a handful of games before they said, yeah, never mind, this is awful, which I could have told you from day one, but that's fine.
You could have. Tim A.V., we are not going to countenance your question on air. Just know you got a reaction from me, and I'll share it with Bach during the break. IQ Crew says you guys forgot about Buffalo for the Turner Gill connection in the MAC team.
Absolutely. I was going to mention that. That at one time was my favorite team.
How about that? It's funny that I actually remember the University of Buffalo more for their upset in the NCAA basketball tournament.
Do you really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know in my head that Turner Gill was successful at Buffalo, but Turner Gill also wasn't a seminal figure of my childhood, like just kind of a name that I know. So I didn't necessarily feel that Nebraska attachment to it. And then Troy and Lincoln says, Tommy Armstrong had a cannon, though, which may have been a downfall for him, too.
That's what I say. He had the YOLO ball at times, but at times that helped Nebraska. At other times, he just would not check down.
Screw it, Westy's down there somewhere.
Yeah. Well, again, and that's his. So somebody texted in the top 5 quarterbacks in Nebraska history, and they had Tommy at number 5, which is wildly overrated in my mind. But his spot is especially kind of hard to pinpoint because obviously he went through coaching transitions. Did finish with the last 9-win season Nebraska's had.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it kind of ages better knowing what we've had since. And that's really, to the Callahan point. Callahan was awful until he lived through Mike Riley and Scott Frost. And it was like, well, I guess it wasn't so bad.
That's why it's important to keep perspective even in the moment, as difficult as it is, because you say things you might regret down the road. Now, I'm sure no Husker fans regret anything they've said about Bill Callahan, though, and that is their prerogative. So we're going to go to break. We'll wrap up hour 1 of the drive in just a sec.
Industrial Services reminds our drivers, distracted driving is the #1 cause of accidents on our roadways. Drivers, put down your cell phone. Stop texting and driving before texting and driving stops you. Industrial Services offers local professional waste management. Call 402-467-3581 for quality customer service. Established in 1915, Industrial Services cares about our kids and reminding our drivers, don't let your smartphone make a fool out of you.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now through August 17th, enjoy 6-ounce bacon-wrapped filet mignon for $9.99 each. Bulk bacon $4.99 per pound. And a 2-day sale on Friday and Saturday, including 10-pound tubes of 85% ground beef at $4.99 per pound. And a 4-pound box of snow crab clusters for $49.99. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Salt Mine City is your go-to brewery in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their Big Fatty 7-ounce hamburger or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Bagels and Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in August. Try their brand new S'mores cold brew with graham cracker cold foam. Also try a S'mores croissant and add cake batter cream cheese to any bagel. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Now back to the drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainer, sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back here on the drive. Austin and Bach, no AD and no Nick. Wishing the best to both those gentlemen with everything they've got going on. Bach, I don't want to steal too much of your thunder. I'm sure you and Carricker and you and Farley will talk about this, but I am just so over Michigan and the sanctions and the penalties. It's just been going on too long. Some new reporting from Pete Thamel. He says the NCAA has formally notified parties tied to the Michigan NCAA infractions case that an announcement on the findings and punishments will be publicly released on Friday, as in tomorrow. I get it. These things take time. You don't want to hand down a punishment too early, but man, it feels like this is coming down too late after, a few years of talking about this. Really, I get it. Do your due diligence. Don't hand out, bad punishments. But I am just so over everything that's going on with Michigan. Like, just get it over with. I am tired of talking about it. Good, punish them, get it out of the way. But I'm just ready to be done talking about Michigan and sign stealing.
Yeah, it certainly is interesting. I mean, because I think that almost plays into Michigan's hand or anybody's hand that's really going to do much of any infractions, is that the NCAA will take forever. And by the time they do get to a punishment, it usually is kind of That's the that's the consensus feeling, and I think a lot of people are in that boat even now. I mean, maybe it would be different if Jim Harbaugh was still on campus. I think it certainly would, to kind of understand and figure out what would be coming down. Obviously, I'm incredibly intrigued by this, more so than anything, because it could directly affect Nebraska and their season this upcoming year. Because in my mind, and I've been arguing this all offseason, I don't think it benefits Nebraska to argue it, so I haven't made too much of a big deal about it. But I don't think you should be able to pick your punishment. Sherrone Moore says he's going to sit out 2 games for the punishment, and that's supposed to be their self-imposed, deal. And I don't think that you can choose to sit in timeout right in front of the TV. I mean, you can't choose your punishment. That kind of takes away from the punishment. So I hope that they come in and say, 2 games, fine. You know what? We think it's 3 games. And you have to sit the first 3 games out or whatever, or whatever they do. I would have liked it. You can't just pick if you can pick your punishment, why?
It's not a punishment.
Why is Nebraska even pick your 2 weakest games? And if you can do that, that's how people should move forward. And if Michigan has special rules, then what's the point of this whole thing to begin with? So I'm fascinated by that. We'll see. I'm not so much into the, and maybe we'll get an asterisk next to their national championship. Okay, one way or another, there is or is not. It doesn't really matter. They won it on the field, and so I that stuff doesn't matter to me. Bowl ban, postseason ban, that could get interesting. So we'll see what kind of happens tomorrow. I think a lot of people might expect a slap on the wrist, but this is the biggest scandal in college football over the last several years.
And Kirby Smart is thankful for that. It should be his Georgia players.
Yeah. I mean,
that's a lot of reckless driving, man.
It's a lot of reckless driving going on, but
at the
I don't know.
At a high profile program.
Yeah. I just don't know what you do about it. That's different than like coaches plotting to cheat. Than young guys going out and driving fast, which I get it. You're not wrong completely, but I don't know. What would you do? What would you do to Georgia if you're the NCAA?
I don't know, and that's the tough part.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just crazy to me that it seems like it's flown under the radar, and we don't hold it against Kirby Smart. We can't, but also can we? I don't know. We've had that discussion a couple times, but what if? I mean, Sherrone Moore picked Purdue and Northwestern to sit out in November.
Seems like he could.
What if he had done that? Would that be a bigger deal? Would that be a stink? Are we giving Sherrone Moore a pass because, oh yeah, we get it. He wants to go to his alma mater and coach in that game. No, the point of the punishment is you knew this game was on the schedule coming up. This is when the punishment gets handed down. I think that'd be a really good, incentive, a negative incentive to, I don't know, not cheat again in the future if you miss something of value to you.
Punishment shouldn't care about your feelings. I mean, I just don't understand how, and I was just surprised by the general reaction is, okay, yeah, that sounds good. It's you can't do that. Again, and it's because I think they included the Nebraska game in there, so I think they at least see, okay, that will be a bit of a punishment, but they could pick New Mexico and Central Michigan. I guess for some reason, the games have to be back-to-back, but if you're picking your punishment, you're already making your own rules. Why do they have to be back-to-back?
Right. So subjective. Do you think, and Tony Petitti's obviously going to say, yeah, we want our member schools to fall in line, play by the rules, win fair, all that stuff. Do you think there's a part of Tony Petitti that's like, yeah, whatever, thanks for actually some ammo in the chamber, for the Big Ten against the SEC?
Oh, absolutely. The Big Ten's been a big winner out of this. And that's why, I mean, I know there's not a generally good feeling about Michigan, but we're all beating our chests on back-to-back Big Ten championships. And as well we should, because the SEC has owned the college football for the better part of 15 years before that. So thank God the Big Ten has come through and especially the argument against the SEC at times, even though Florida and LSU and Georgia and all these other teams won during the time, is that Alabama was better and all these other teams get the benefit of the doubt, is that it's not just an Ohio State conversation. Right? If Ohio State wins, how much could we really even, bang on our chest and say the Big Ten? It would really just be, yeah, the top of the Big Ten, Ohio State, sure. But the fact that Michigan has added to it is absolutely huge, not just for that, but like Midwestern. I don't know, Michigan might fall into the Great Lakes category or whatever, but other than Southern region, and in Ohio State, it's part of that. I get that, but Ohio State just has better access to football players. Ohio, Pennsylvania, great high school football going on there. Michigan,
Ohio State's never really had a downturn as a program.
Right, that too, yeah.
Which doesn't hurt things. How closely is James Franklin watching how this goes down and seeing if it's worth it for him? Like, I feel like if the punishment is light enough, James Franklin might just go, you know what? Screw it. Screw it. I got to win one at some point. This is looking like my year. I feel like James Franklin is the most likely Big Ten coach to be pushed over that edge. I mean, it's him or Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, because they just can't quite. You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're not wrong. I mean, I think that is a big part of it. Whether we pick out who's going to do it or what, is if the punishment really isn't all that big, then people are going to say, okay, well,
here goes nothing.
Might be worth it then.
Mm-hmm. Last thing before we go to break, start hour 2. Bada Bing on YouTube wants to know, Bach, which blue blood with a newer head coach has a better year, Alabama or Michigan?
I think Alabama. Michigan's just got so much. I mean, they beat Alabama, obviously.
They did.
They just don't have a passing game, and I just don't know. And maybe that changes this year. But I think Alabama. I guess the bigger thing is belief in Kalen DeBoer. And I know it can be difficult and at a different institution, but I still can't. I'm just amazed by what he did at Washington. Washington's a good school too, but he didn't have any momentum whatsoever. And to go like 25-3 or something in 2 years, it was one of the most incredible turnarounds I've seen as a college football fan. And so I have to believe, and that's why I thought the hire was great. But then obviously I think you somewhat have to throw out the first year results to a degree, right? And Bama fans aren't going to be happy to do that. And so this has to be the year they kind of take that next step. They got Ty Simpson, a quarterback son of a head coach at the D1 level here. So I think I would say Alabama's going to have a better record.
Well, let the listeners decide as we go to break. I'll just give you their schedule. So Michigan will host New Mexico, go to Oklahoma, host Central Michigan, go to Nebraska before their bye week. Then they come out of the bye hosting Wisconsin, traveling to USC, hosting Washington, traveling to Michigan State, hosting Purdue. Then they get their second bye week before they finish up with at Northwestern, at Maryland, and hosting Ohio State. The flip side of that for Alabama, they have the game against Florida State on the 30th to open the year. They will host Louisiana Monroe and host Wisconsin. They get their bye week before they travel to Athens to take on Georgia in the end of September. Then they get the return game from Diego Pavia and Vandy before going to Missouri. They then host Tennessee in mid-October, go to South Carolina, host LSU, host Oklahoma, host Eastern Illinois, and finish the year off on the road for the Iron Bowl.
Yeah, a little bit more difficult schedule, I think, for Alabama, but
they're also probably better.
What?
Probably better team, though.
Right. And I said usually in every other team that's looking on the other side, say, dang, we got Alabama. This is a tough schedule, too. So they're kind of they're kind of part of that.
That they are. We'll go to break. Hour 2 of The Drive comes your way in just a sec here on The Ticket.
Bagels and Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in August. Try their brand new S'mores cold brew with graham cracker cold foam. Also try a S'mores croissant and add cake batter cream cheese to any bagel. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
If the power is out, keep your fridge and freezer closed. Perishable food lasts 4 hours in the fridge, and frozen food lasts up to 2 days if it stays below 40 degrees. See more tips at les.com/safety.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Harvest season is coming, and Acres has discounted many of our late model John Deere combines. Get thousands in discounts and upgrade for this year's harvest. Plus, you could save even more with interest rates starting as low as 1.9% on select units. Low interest rates combined with our huge discounts, there's not a better time to buy. Visit acres.com for all the details. That's AKRS.com. Restrictions apply. Offer ends August 31st, 2025. Subject to approved financing. Offer may change at any time without notice.
M Suits Clothiers, Lincoln's favorite men's store. Family owned and operated, located 1 block south of 56th and Pine Lake Road. Go bold this summer and fall with endless possibilities. Stop in now for the best selection on sweaters, outerwear, suits, sport coats, dress pants, and dress shirts. M Suits Clothiers, your menswear store.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Welcome to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert. Former football national champion, speaker, and author Aaron Davis.
Pain is a teacher if you use it. And the lessons in the carnage of pain sometimes are elusive. They hide, they're stealth. The work is finding the lessons through the pain. There's always a message in the mess. Depends on if we want to get dirty and look for it.
Nick Sainert.
Driving left side is Boyer, picks up his dribble, looking for some help, decides to go up strong with it, and the layup will rattle home. Jack Riley picks the pocket of BJ Bradford up the floor to Jack Hostreiter. Watch out! Nafisi in the lane, kicks it out. 3-ball, Townsley, right wing, it's good!
Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's hour 2 of The Drive on The Ticket. Big thanks to Doors Plus for sponsoring the show 9 to 11 weekdays here at 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Sutter Heyman Jewelers text line, y'all have been on one this morning. Really appreciate it. 402-464-5685 if you want to continue to be a part of the conversation. Austin Norman, Jake Bakoven with you here for the next hour or so. Adam Carricker, Bach, and the Black Shirt following this. Bach, let's get into some single-digit news. Got another crop yesterday afternoon and evening, another 4 handed out. So here is the list as it stands right now. Wearing number 0, Javen Wright. Wearing number 2, Ja'Cory Barney Jr., number 3, Marquise Buford Jr., and number 4, Janiron Bonner. After that, it's Riley Van Poppel in 5, Dane Key in 6, Malcolm Hartzog Jr. donning 7, Deshaun Singleton in 8, and Vincent Shavers Jr. makes the move from number 1 to number 9. Before we get to the missing single digit, number 1, let's just start with that list of players. Javen Wright, Marquise Buford Jr., Riley Van Poppel, Malcolm Hartzog Jr., Deshaun Singleton, and Vincent Shavers Jr. on defense, Ja'Cory Barney, Janiron Bonner, and Dane Key on offense.
Well, a little more offense this year, which is good. Maybe I don't know if there's going to be a direct correlation between strength of the team and the balance between the single digit numbers. Obviously, offensive linemen aren't in play for this, so that's one thing to kind of consider. But overall, I think it's an interesting group, and I don't think there's too many surprises. A few of these guys, obviously, Malcolm Hartzog and Singleton and Buford returning single digit number holders. Javen Wright being the number 0. Matt Rule at the Big Ten Media Days called him I forget, it was a secret weapon or whatever it was against the tight ends in the league. So I think there's an interesting role for him.
Older guy, leader.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Senior most on the team. I'm interested to see, because there's going to be a rotation at linebacker, so it's not all that important, I guess, who starts and who doesn't. But just interesting to see that rotation that we're going to see at linebacker. Janiron Bonner might be the most surprising, I suppose, of the group, just because he's not necessarily penciled in as a starting wide receiver, but he is I think it was secret weapon is what he called Javen Wright. And I guess you could kind of say the same thing for Bonner as far as kind of being able to move around and such. But I think that was the one that maybe a little bit surprising. And then Shavers not being number 1, obviously finished number 1. I think there's a reason for him moving to a different single digit number, but don't overlook that fact. I mean, he was a freshman last year. I don't know I was kind of confused about the whole jersey change with him last year to begin with.
Him and Jamari Butler swapping, going back and forth.
Right.
Yeah.
And when the single digit thing was supposed to be more, important, and then a freshman kind of came in and got it.
But I think that was because Jamari wanted to switch back. I think that was, he wanted number 10.
Okay.
That Shavers had or something like that. And then Shavers took number 1 from Jamari Butler.
Yeah. So I guess to my point though is, so I don't necessarily know if he was penciled in as a single digit number guy. That obviously that's great respect and earned and all that, but also I don't know, maybe they would feel like his positioning is, we don't want to take it away from him at this point. So that one's a little bit confusing to me. But in any case, he's expected to step up and be one of the better players on defense. So not all that surprising that he got it and earned it one way or the other.
0220. We will get to your comment here in just a sec. That is going to be a big part of our discussion coming up. I'm honestly not surprised or shocked by Janiron Bonner, even if he wouldn't been one of the first guys that came to mind. Again, that's a Matt Rule guy, Matt Rule football player. And again, we know that the coaches don't pick these, but think about everything Janiron Bonner's been through with the injuries at Nebraska, position switch from wideout to fullback to H-back to Swiss Army knife, whatever it is he's doing now officially, tight end, wide receiver, hybrid type of guy, stuck it out, has been at Nebraska the whole time, hasn't transferred. I think Matt Rule is smiling seeing Janiron Bonner get voted as a single digit. That makes a lot of sense to me. The two that I think really stood out to me in terms of surprise, Riley Van Poppel. Not saying he doesn't deserve it. Don't get me wrong. I just didn't necessarily see that coming for a guy that played a year, took his redshirt year, and then is back. We've heard a lot about Riley Van Poppel, Bach, and good for him if he stepped up and earned it. Really big shoes to fill, obviously, with Ty and Nash being gone. Good on Riley Van Poppel for earning the respect of his teammates like that. Now, I hope for him it shows up on the field to validate a lot of that hype.
Yeah, no, I could see that too. But, again, you got to talk about a sacrifice. One of the biggest ones that was made last year was him redshirting. We've seen Malachi Coleman didn't react too well to that request and that decision. Van Poppel did and stuck through and is now going to be a major piece on this front line. So, I don't know. Again, if I were doing the odds before these were handed out, if I necessarily would have thought he would have been in there, but didn't come down as too much a surprise to me either in that way. I guess the surprise here, and maybe it's just a preference thing more than anything, is that Emmett Johnson isn't included in the single digits here.
That is exactly where I was going next. for a guy that's been, in the headlines, who has, as far as I'm concerned, a pretty sterling reputation across the program for being a good dude and for being a hard worker. I was a little bit surprised to see that it was Ja'Cory Barney in number 2 and not Emmett Johnson. And maybe I don't want to take that as a knock on Emmett Johnson. I'm going to put that as a credit to Ja'Cory Barney, right? Who really came out of nowhere last year. Of course, the program was excited about him, but Husker fans hadn't seen him behind Demetrius Bell on that initial depth chart. But, he's roommates with the quarterback. We've seen that paid big dividends for receivers and tight ends at Nebraska before. So, yeah, I was most surprised that it was Ja'Cory Barney in number 2 and not Emmett Johnson.
Yeah, and again, I don't know, are there players that don't want single-digit numbers, right? Maybe Emmett Johnson's wears the number that he does for a reason. He was, would like to continue with that. Maybe not. Maybe he's just is kind of a lead by example guy, if you will. Maybe just doesn't rub off that way on teammates. I'm not really sure. And so I'd be kind of interested to hear from an explanation, I suppose, on it. And I think that we deserve one, because I think it's just a question that just kind of lingers there, because he has been doing kind of the offseason parade with Dylan Raiola.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I figured he was among the team leaders, or at least the people that they want to shine the light shine the light on. And quite frankly, the final four games there with Dana Holgorsen, he's one of the reasons to believe that Nebraska's moving in the right direction. So, regardless of whatever his teammates feel, from far away, it's like, man, he seems to, so that just seems to be a surprise. And again, I don't know, that could be just a decision. Hey, I appreciate the honor, but I'd rather keep my number, or we maybe not shouldn't look too far, and maybe he's the 10th or 11th guy that got the votes and would still be in the same range as far as team leaders.
But this is why I am still not fully on board with this whole single digit numbers thing, because you mentioned the offensive line, right? Rule talks a lot about it's clearly important to him. Those guys can't get a jersey, and it's kind of the flip side of the coin for the Michigan punishment thing, Bach. Either it's important or it's not. If you're voted as a leader by your captains and the coaches have said, this is how we will reward you, this is what holds weight to us, then isn't part of being a leader doing something that maybe you're not comfortable with, right? Hey, I was voted as this, I view it as an honor, not, oh, it's a demotion to wear a different number. Oh, it's not the number that I like. I get it. Athletes have their numbers. We all do if we've played, right? And I don't want to disrespect that. And I think that's important to the locker room, that if the coaches said, no, you must give up your number that you associate, even before your time at Nebraska, that's maybe the hardline stance that's not a good one to take. But then if you get voted as a single digit and you turn it down, that kind of goes against the culture and the importance of what the coaching staff is trying to set.
Yeah.
So it seems like there's just a lot of having it both ways.
Yeah. And I mean, it depends on how seriously they take it too. I mean, I get what you're saying, and I get, Coach Rule did a little video kind of explaining it the other day, and that it's meant to be an honor and all that, and it's cool. I mean, I kind of like it as far as, we can identify the guys that they kind of highlighted as team leaders, and what it means to be a Husker and all that by their jersey numbers. But the whole idea, I guess, is behind it is that, as Matt Rule was kind of explaining the other day, is that, freshmen or people would walk in and just say, I'll play for you if you give me number 2, or, that was part of recruiting, is that recruits wanted a high single digit number. So they were sought after jersey numbers. But again, that doesn't mean that everybody sought after them. So it's a bit strange. And then again, I mean, I can see what you're saying, especially with that. That's kind of the confusion with the Jamari Butler thing last year, where it's like, does it matter? Does it not? Mid-season, maybe it matters less than it does preseason, because, that's at least, some storylines we can write, or, in honor there. And then once you get to actual football, then like, yeah, whatever, grab a jersey, let's go out there and play. It doesn't really matter. Not going to change anything on the depth chart. So it is a little bit confusing. But I don't know, that's what makes it hard. I don't know if I would take that big of a hardline stance on it, because I don't want to disrupt. That's the whole idea, is you're not trying to disrupt the people with jersey numbers.
It's just bizarre. Like, I would almost rather just go like room captains. I'd rather see so quarterback, running back, tight end, offensive line, wide receiver, D-line, linebackers, defensive backs, special teams, right? I would rather have 9 dudes out there with a C on their chest more than I would want to get into the weeds of the single digit thing. It's just gotten too confusing, I think. Maybe it's not confusing in the locker room. And if that's the case, good, cool, go for it. But I would think it would be more meaningful to fans and probably simpler for them to understand if you just said, hey, our guys voted, here's the captain of each room. But that's not how Matt Rule likes to do game captains. So again, this is mostly an internal thing. That's the important part, is that this is internal for Nebraska's locker room and those players, is that these are the guys who have been selected as the leaders by their peers. But then it gets confusing on the outside, where it actually, reflects to fans, where if they can't wrap their heads around it, does it matter? No, not really, but kind of. A couple things to get to here from YouTube and our text line. We'll start with this. Bada Bing says, I think Bonner is the most slept on player on this team. Former fullback, has hands to catch the ball and can definitely block as well. Bada Bing, I think that's the wrong way to look at Janiran Bonner. He was a wide receiver first. He didn't come in as a fullback and then convert over there. He came in as a bigger bodied receiver who they then moved to fullback, and he just hasn't found a home. The idea of Janiran Bonner is great. He's, I think, past the point of being a big numbers guy, barring some, Divine Azigbo type of year. I mean, I can appreciate Janiran Bonner for who he is and what he does for the football program, what he means, clearly a leader according to his peers. I just don't think he's going to have a huge statistical impact for Nebraska because he's kind of the wrong kind of tweener, right? They recruited, they wanted a Carter Nelson wide receiver tight end hybrid. I don't think they have any idea what they're doing with Janiran Bonner. I don't think there's a role for a guy like that in a traditional Dana Holgorsen offense like we've seen. If he makes an impact, on each game, good for him. But I think that's a kind of situational spot duty type of player who has the ear of the locker room more so than, this guy's going to be a huge difference maker on the field for Nebraska at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fact that he's on this list. Again, I think it does highlight him a little bit and at least, lets us know that he's at least, making an impact on the field. I like you wouldn't expect a big numbers year from him, but I think there's room for that, right? Like for what we see somebody breaking out at tight end. Mm-hmm. And maybe he in certain sets maybe kind of becomes that weapon maybe that we expect Harburg to be or Carter Nelson to be, right? And so maybe in a way he kind of takes those numbers and becomes, among tight end. He's not even a tight end, but maybe has more yards and receptions and stuff than them. But yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily think he's going to be a kind of the breakout player necessarily, but like you said, I mean, it could happen. We don't. That's why we play the game. He could be the Swiss Army knife that really Holgorsen finds a great way to utilize him in the offense.
I'm not rooting against him. I'm just not predicting it.
Right.
In terms of the numbers. That's I think the way I'd describe it. A couple things to get to here before we go to break. Then Hoghead Nate Box says they should give the players a helmet sticker or a jersey badge. That way, it's open to everyone. I would prefer that. Again, like I said, like give them like a captain patch if they're a room captain, RC room captain, something like that. Or, helmet stickers. I mean, I know, there's so much around the Nebraska helmet. It's iconic. It at a look. And sure, I mean, Ohio State has the Buckeye stickers and Michigan has the stickers as well. But yeah, I would really not hate Nebraska going to a helmet sticker model. I think that would be really easy for fans to see from the outside. Oh my gosh, this dude has a bunch of stickers. He must be a pretty good or pretty important player. Are you okay with messing with the helmet to put stickers on it? I am.
I've always, I actually am just defensively. I am. I just want them to put like Georgia used to do these bones, with the black shirts. Mm-hmm. I would love to do bones on the black shirts. I think that'd be cool and separate. That's I love the black shirts. There's a specific tradition and just highlight of the defensive side of the ball, which is pretty rare in college football and football in general. So I just love that kind of mentality. What I would do and what I always liked was just 4 team captains. Now it doesn't always fit in. Sometimes you have 3 guys that are really kind of the team captains. Sometimes there's 5 guys, but I don't like switching captains. I mean, because I mean, I get it. It's everybody has to take responsibility. Like you said, every room's going to have a guy in that case that can represent the team. But I'd rather have 4 guys at the top all year long that can be the team leaders. And again, if 1 year you want to have 3, 1 year you want to have 5, whatever. It doesn't have to be some set number. But I think that is that would be a lot easier. And then I don't think it's that hard. Just put the C on their chest, right? I think they did that where the Nebraska patch was before, at least 1 or 2 seasons when the captains had a C there. Didn't bother me. I mean, but I do. I'm a big believer in that compared to what we see a lot of programs do. And I think what this program does too is we're gonna have weekly team captains, and so then I think that week maybe a guy feels like, well, I got to give a speech, and maybe it's just as opposed to, hey, you've been around, you're clearly, guys look up for you, and there's different ways to lead. There's the rah-rah guy, there's the kind of leader by example, all that. So there can still be different leaders. I would love to have your kind of 4 pillars set at the beginning of the season and go from there.
I agree and disagree, where that's probably my preferred system. I don't hate game captains again, because I think that's more an outward show. Because you think about like Nebraska going up to Minnesota, right? Bryce Benhart, Minnesota kid, Emmett Johnson, Minnesota kid. Cool. Let him walk out there and do the coin flip. I don't think that that's a huge deal to me, because again, the team knows who they're going to rely on in crisis. It's one thing to do the outward show, but then we get back to the sideline, the guys already know who they're talking to, who they're going to, who they're relying on for some of that leadership. I also kind of liked the area code thing, the zip code thing that Scott Frost did. I get why it went away, but I'm okay with bringing that back. It's not a huge deal. It's a small thing. I don't think it needed to be taken away. I don't think it needed to start to begin with. They're just those little things that probably mean more in the locker room that we can, as we've done, spend a whole segment talking about. Last thing, and then we'll go to break before we continue a little bit of this discussion. Gorilla Bear says, how many players wouldn't want to change their number because of a potential NIL merchandising issue?
Well, I don't know about that, but certainly it will affect, I'm sure, where we're going next with this conversation. That's kind of more lines up with that. And, they could, that is interesting though, because does Emmett have like does he really show off the 21 among his? I think he might. I can't remember his gold change. It either says Emmett. Yeah, I can't remember what it says, but that could be something.
I think it's more of a consideration now than it's ever been, but I still don't know if it's like the consideration. I also don't know if anyone on Nebraska is good enough to say, I am so directly tied to this number, that's how I think of you in Nebraska history. So we'll go to break. We'll discuss the final single digit that's yet to be handed out. That's number 1. Who are the candidates? How do we think that goes? That's coming up next on The Drive.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Every home is different. Every family is different. So when it's time for a new heating and cooling system, why not get what fits you best? Get the perfect fit with Bryant. Maybe you need higher efficiency, better humidity control, increased warranty, or all the bells and whistles. Bryant provides options in warranty, features, comfort, and efficiency while maximizing savings. Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, 467-1111, or visit BryantLincoln.com. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
If the power is out, keep your fridge and freezer closed. Perishable food lasts 4 hours in the fridge, and frozen food lasts up to 2 days if it stays below 40 degrees. See more tips at les.com/safety.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. With the school year here, A1 Automotive reminds you that college students get 10% off any service, and they offer free tire repair with a valid college ID. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive or downtown at 11th and L.
Harvest season is coming, and Acres has discounted many of our late model John Deere combines. Get thousands in discounts and upgrade for this year's harvest. Plus, you could save even more with interest rates starting as low as 1.9% on select units. Low interest rates combined with our huge discounts, there's not a better time to buy. Visit acres.com for all the details. That's AKRS.com. Restrictions apply. Offer ends August 31st, 2025. Subject to approved financing. Offer may change at any time without notice.
Play ball! Pitch the perfect idea for a family outing or date night with tickets to the next Salt Dogs game. Nothing says summer fun like an action-packed evening at Haymarket Park. Come root for the home team with a hot dog and a cold drink. Plus, visit saltdogs.com to learn about special events and promotions, including group discounts. Don't miss out on the thrill and excitement of a Salt Dogs win. Visit saltdogs.com to reserve your tickets today.
Above and Beyond Roofing and Construction reminds listeners to please get out and donate to our military, whether it be a care package sent overseas or a blood donation right here at home. Every little bit helps the troops. Don't forget the brave men and women that put their lives on the line each and every day for our very own. Above and Beyond Roofing and Construction, serving our area with pride and integrity. For all your roofing and construction needs and more, Above and Beyond Roofing and Construction, on the air because they care.
Now back to the drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert, sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. It's The Drive, 93.7 Ticket and theticketfm.com. Taking a detour from what we had promised you to highlight a fantastic cause here in the community. Again, big thanks to Doors Plus for their sponsorship of the show. We're joined in studio right now by Mark and Nikki Peterson. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. Nikki, we'll start with you. Tell us what you're here to talk about, a cause near and dear to your heart.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us. We are here to talk about our walk that we're hosting for our son, Will. We are hosting a walk called One Small Step. It's in support of Prader-Willi syndrome research. My son has Prader-Willi syndrome. It's just one of those rare diseases. So we are hosting a walk on Sunday, September 14th at 10 a.m. at Holmes Lake to raise awareness, raise funds, and have a lot of fun doing it.
Let's start with Prader-Willi syndrome. What is it and what has that meant for your family?
Yes, it's just one of many rare diseases, but for Will specifically, it impacts his growth, the way that he walks, he speaks, and just a lot of different functionality in his body. But the hallmark piece is he never feels full. So he constantly feels like he's starving, and food and monitoring food for him is a little tricky. But with research dollars and with different treatments and therapies, there have been a lot of improvements. We're just hoping to raise more and raise more awareness. It's impacted about 8 families in Lincoln locally, about 20 in Nebraska that we know of. So we're hoping to make a bigger community and raise more awareness and just get people excited about contributing to a worthy cause.
Mark, listener Mark, if I can call you that, we'll rope you in on this as well. Take us through, kind of the early steps of finding out Will had Prader-Willi. What was the diagnosis timeline like, and how have you seen his development with that, and how's that affected your family?
Yeah, thanks for having us. It was we found out very soon, very quickly. We were in the NICU at Bryan Hospital, so they did an incredible job of just finding out right away this is a rare disease, and the staff there and everyone there was incredible. So from the get-go, we were very blessed to have some great minds and great resources around us, and so we've been just real fortunate to have the community, the support around us from the beginning. So that's not always everyone's story with that condition, and so we just feel really fortunate to be in this community and have that from the start.
Talk about that community support. What does that look like? What does that felt like for you guys?
Yeah, starting from family to friends to neighbors to Will's an amazing kid, and he's got such a great personality. He's personable, and he's got this wonderful smile. So he attracts people, and we've been blessed to have people in our life that have supported us, whether it's the care providers across the city of Lincoln, family, friends, our neighborhood, and just really happy to have those people. Just want to give a thank you to everyone that's been involved with that. So that's my take. Anything you'd add to that, Nikki?
Yeah, I mean, we're a rare community, but we're a very strong community. So it's been amazing to meet other parents, other kids. We attended a wonderful conference in Phoenix this summer where we met hundreds of people in the PWS community. So we would love to highlight those families and have our network meet those families and meet the people that we're raising awareness and funds for.
Now, as far as One Small Step goes, this is the first walk that we have?
There have been walks before COVID. COVID, ruined a lot of things,
Sure.
but we're bringing it back to Lincoln. It has previously been hosted in Omaha. This is our first time ever hosting it. So we don't know what we're doing, but we're having a lot of fun. We're meeting a lot of great people in the process. We're looking for more sponsorships. We're looking for more people to donate to our awesome raffle and have people come out and just learn about what we're doing and have a lot of fun.
Now, as you envision it, what does it look like when somebody comes out there? Is there, like you said, obviously we're trying to raise some money and donations. Is there a cost, and what is kind of the outline for the day, I suppose?
Yeah, no cost. Show up, get a free t-shirt. There's going to be a bounce house. The fire department's going to come out and give a fire truck demonstration. And we're going to have, like I mentioned, an awesome raffle. We've already received quite a few very generous donations. It's just show up to the park on a Sunday morning, have fun, let the kids run around, walk a 1 mile walk if you feel comfortable, and donate if you can.
Let's get the information then. What day, what park, when, where?
Yes. Sunday, September 14th. So today is actually 1 month out. And Holmes Lake Park in Lincoln on 70th and Van Dorn area. I think I said 10 a.m. And we'll be out there 2 or 3 hours, just having fun, live music, and a lot of wonderful people in our community are going to be there as well.
Now, if somebody couldn't make it to the event, maybe they're busy that day, can they still help out?
Yes, please. Absolutely. You can go to impact.fpwr.org/One Small Step Nebraska, or just Google One Small Step Nebraska, and our website will show up and you can donate there, learn more about Will, his story, our cause, and why this means so much to us. I was getting a little teary-eyed when Mark was talking about Will's story, because it's been a long and tough journey, but he's such a wonderful kid and he's made so many wonderful friends. And I mean, his smile is just so precious. So we're excited to have people come out. He thinks it's a party just for him. So that's what we're telling him. But it's for him and all of his friends living with Prader-Willi syndrome, and everyone that is affected by it, and everyone in our community.
Mark, you mentioned the diagnosis of the community. When you first get the diagnosis, did it feel Lone, like, oh my gosh, we're dealing with this, and how important has that community been to find other people outside and know that even as parents, you're not alone, and then for your son Will to know that he's not alone going through this as well?
Yeah, good question. Will was our first child, so that's a whole new experience in itself. And he was born a couple days before COVID lockdown happened, so it was kind of just a little bit of an isolating event in that sense. And so that was a tough one, but fortunately we've got family here, we got friends here that we could lean on. And, going through that, the nurses, everything was great to provide us support. So it's kind of a huge shock for us to begin with as being first time parents, but then you throw this other dynamic on top of that. So, we've not had to go through this alone, which is a big takeaway. It's just part of our mission is to help other families that may have a similar situation, whether it's with PWS or anything going through the NICU like that. And so Nikki's done an incredible job of trying to be that person to step in for families when they're going through something like that. And that's part of her mission as well.
That's incredible. I do have to ask for this party that's his party, but not really. What's he most excited about? The walk, the park, the fire trucks? Where's Will at with that?
The bounce house.
The bounce house.
The bounce house. He is a freak for a bounce house. But he's also really excited to have all of his family come in town and celebrate what he thinks is just for himself. So
that's incredible. Maybe one more time then, Nikki, what is the date, the time, the location of the event, and then the website if people are interested to watch it?
Yes. Date is Sunday, September 14 at 10 a.m. At Holmes Lake Park here in Lincoln. And the website to learn more information is impact.fpwr.org/one-small-step-Nebraska. All proceeds will be going to the Foundation for Prader-Willi Research, which is doing amazing work to find treatment and therapies for our kids and build a wonderful community that supports families like ours.
There you have it. One Small Step Nebraska. Mark and Nikki, thank you so much for coming in. All the best to you and your family. Hope we'll be able to make it out for the walk.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Absolutely. We'll go to break. We'll wrap up the drive, get you set up for the Adam Carricker Show after this.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Every home is different. Every family is different. So when it's time for a new heating and cooling system, why not get what fits you best? Get the perfect fit with Bryant. Maybe you need higher efficiency, better humidity control, increased warranty, or all the bells and whistles. Bryant provides options. Options in warranty, features, comfort, and efficiency while maximizing savings. Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, 467-1111, or visit BryantLincoln.com. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Play ball! Pitch the perfect idea for a family outing or date night with tickets to the next Salt Dogs game. Nothing says summer fun like an action-packed evening at Haymarket Park. Come root for the home team with a hot dog and a cold drink. Plus, visit saltdogs.com to learn about special events and promotions, including group discounts. Don't miss out on the thrill and excitement of a Salt Dogs win. Visit saltdogs.com to reserve your tickets today.
If the power is out, keep your fridge and freezer closed. Perishable food lasts 4 hours in the fridge, and frozen food lasts up to 2 days if it stays below 40 degrees. See more tips at les.com/safety.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. With the school year here, A1 Automotive reminds you that college students get 10% off any service, and they offer free tire repair with a valid college ID. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive or downtown at 11th and L.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left at once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Keep 'em Home would like to remind all of our listeners that are between 35 and 55 that breast cancer is a serious issue. 1 out of 8 fall victim to the silent predator, but if detected early, steps can be taken towards the treatment and prevention. Please schedule a complete physical exam and a breast cancer screening today. Do it for yourself and your family. This reminder is courtesy of Keep 'em Home, serving our area with pride and integrity, providing in-home care for seniors and disabled individuals who are confined to their homes or need additional aid to complete their daily activities. For more info, Keep 'em Home, on the air because they care.
Old School with Foreman and Orman.
Any tips for a dad who just volunteered to be a YMCA flag football coach less than a week before the season started because no one else had volunteered to coach the 5th graders up to that point?
Tylenol for your headache.
Put some in your cup. Put some in your cup, and make sure your contract is 1 year only.
Medicate, bro.
The Frank Reich. Frank Reich at Stanford.
Yep.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainer. Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into The Drive. It's Austin and Bach wrapping things up for you here on a Thursday. Huge thanks to Mark and Nikki Peterson for their time. Incredible family, incredible people. Fun chance to talk to the two of them. Again, they are raising awareness and funds for research into Prader-Willi syndrome. They got their walk at Holmes Lake on September the 14th. We'll make sure all that information continues to get pushed over the next month as well. Bach, let's jump back into the conversation we were having here over the next 10 minutes or so to wrap up the show. The final single digit yet to be awarded is the number 1. Here are the questions from the text line. Just going to run them down in order because it's going to really launch us into where we want to go. 0220. Number 1, is it going to be Dylan or Heinrich or even the punter or Emmett Johnson? 5604. Do you think Dylan Raiola would ever switch to a single digit? And 6102. Wouldn't you think Dylan definitely would be one of those single digits? Floor is yours.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it would be among the biggest upsets that we will see in college football season if Dylan Raiola is not named number 1. It's not just because he wore the number in high school or he's just one of the obvious choices. I mean, they specifically have left out one number, and it's the number one. Again, the number that he wore it in high school. So I think that's going to happen. And I think it was again a matter of time, unless he was really specific to being, hey, I want to be number 15. I think it makes sense if you come into the program and you're a freshman, regardless of status, and maybe you'd want to say, okay, I'm going to get in line. I don't want special treatment or anything like that. I want to earn my single digit, and so maybe that's what kind of fell in line in picking 15 to begin with. And now he's felt like he's earned that single digit.
He did it for NIL, Bach. Come on.
Well,
he was leaning in Mahomes comparison. It's all about the NIL and building his brand for Dylan. Come on.
He'll say it's Tim Tebow, but yeah, it looks a lot like Mahomes. Now, the other thing is too, I mean, I think, when you get into that, there's been a lot of 15 jerseys sold. There will be a lot number of number 1 jerseys sold from the same people that bought the number 15. So it can be frustrating as a fan when that happens. But I think with the single digit number in this space, you should have probably been aware that was going to be a possibility all along. We no longer have to argue about why. Well, he'll never be Tommy Frazier, so why is he? So I think I would be absolutely surprised. I mean, shocked. I usually say don't bet the house on anything. I'd get pretty close to betting the house that this is going to be Dylan Raiola.
Dave Braska says he's not going to give up the Mahomes number, and Old Dad 34. It is not confirmed that he's wearing number 1, but it's all but confirmed. I think in a lot of ways, we're all anticipating that it's going to be Dylan Raiola, which I think makes sense given the way John Butler has spoken about him, given what we've heard from Dana Holgerson about him, even Matt Rule, and he's been up there said, yeah, Dylan took a step. He's become the leader. But again, it's not the coach's decision. It's the player's decision. And again, we anticipate that it will be Dylan Raiola. But Bach, let's just go off the board. If it's not Dylan Raiola, do you think that 0220 is onto something with it being maybe an outside chance for a Heinrich Harburg or an Emmett Johnson to sneak into that number 1 jersey?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're looking at some of the other names there, those make sense. Like we said, Emmett Johnson, when we just did a whole segment about, it's kind of be surprised that he wasn't in there. Heinrich Harburg, obviously, we talk about a lot of different sacrifices that were made on this team. And of course, that was one of the bigger ones, is to put down the quarterback helmet and put on the tight end helmet and roll from there. Again, a guy that probably could have made some money playing quarterback somewhere else. So kind of interesting. And you can kind of go through the roster and pinpoint and pick different guys that maybe deserve it or could be right in there. The question for me is if we're kind of talking about not wanting special treatment and getting the single digit number, then why do we know all the single digit numbers and then number 1 Dylan might be picked differently? I don't know. I mean, they kind of did the same thing with Van Poppel and Key, I suppose. They put them together before releasing all these other numbers. So I don't know what's going behind the marketing and promotion side of it. And so I am intrigued by that. If it's just as simple as, hey, our quarterback's going to wear number 1 and maybe we're just putting off that storyline for later, maybe the guessing game, maybe they like this segment particularly. I don't know. But again, if he doesn't, I mean, and I think too, it could help with some of that Patrick Mahomes comparison thing. Like, it's fine. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to be compared to Patrick Mahomes. But it's maybe already made enough rounds in opposing message boards and on Twitter and all that sort of stuff that maybe it's kind of time to maybe look a little less like Patrick Mahomes and kind of form your own identity. I think they could help in that as well. So I would be shocked if it's not Dylan.
I would as well. I do think it's interesting that we got announcements for some of them, but we just kind of assumed that Buford and Hartzog and Singleton were going to return. I haven't seen a post about those guys, but again, this isn't you earn it once and it's always yours. This is a year-to-year deal where, again, it makes sense that those 3 guys, upperclassmen, been around the block, decent playmakers for the Nebraska defense, but those seem like the guys that Matt Rule would have highlighted first or told his social team to highlight first. Like, hey, these are the standard setters, right? There was never a doubt in our minds that these guys, had earned, again, had re-earned, or were still earning their their stripes, right? To get that jersey. I'm a little surprised there hasn't been maybe more fanfare about that because it's all gone to the new guys more than anything. But it is, I think, worth repeating that no, just because these guys had it last year, they weren't guaranteed to keep it. I think it's a feather in their caps, though, that their teammates still trust them enough and these guys are still putting in the work that they retain their single-digit jersey.
Yeah, I mean, talk about unnecessary drama. If one of the guys didn't earn it, I suppose this year, then you get into questions about, well, what did they do in the locker room last year? What's happening there? Yeah, I mean, I think again, like it's all kind of been assumed. I find the whole thing fascinating. I mean, we are spending a lot of time, right, kind of trying to break it down and look at different ways of looking at it. Usually, this is time. The time of the season of when are the black shirts being handed out and what are these alternates going to look like this year?
We got the alternate text.
Oh, we did.
We
yeah,
did.
There it is. Yeah,
Gus Mohawk, we got it.
Which there was no alternates
it.
last year, right? So I don't know if you're going to get one this year.
I don't know. Well, I don't think you're going to get one this year because apparently Adidas is so focused on Tennessee right now.
Maybe they should be.
Maybe not. It's kind of interesting to see a big brand name like Tennessee make the switch. It's also really interesting, Buck, hearing the framing of this out of Tennessee. Is Tennessee seems to think that Adidas is making Tennessee its flagship program. Would you hitch your wagon to Tennessee if you're Adidas? Say you're the ones that we're pumping up and putting out there as our main brand?
Well, I think, as I remember correctly, that Adidas has a lot of the basketball schools, and Nike has taken over a majority of the kind of top end football schools over the years. So I'd have to look and see kind of which schools that they're competing with. Tennessee is among it's not quite a blue blood in college football, but it's right there. And, the care factor is incredible. The Neyland Stadium is incredible and the team's good again.
Mm-hmm.
So if not, I think they would be right up there, at least with the Adidas schools that they have. If I could just pick any school in college football, I'd probably have a couple different choices, but among their schools, I think they would be. And, and Nebraska is a blue blood. And so you maybe would say that, but again, they just haven't done well, as we all know. They just haven't done well for a long time. And so their brand probably has diminished to a degree.
Here are your ACC schools. This is as of last year. We'll throw Tennessee into the mix in the SEC. The other two ACC schools or SEC schools that are Adidas, Mississippi State and Texas A&M.
Mm.
So I think Tennessee probably takes it over A&M.
Yeah.
In the Big Ten, it's Indiana, Rutgers, Washington, along with Nebraska. In the Big 12, Arizona State, Kansas, and Texas Tech as of last year. And then in the ACC, Boston College, Georgia Tech, Louisville, Miami, and NC State. Not exactly murderer's row.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying. I just don't think they have the biggest options. There's some, I don't know if I want to, if Tennessee's acting like, I don't know if I would do that if I'm Adidas really launched them. It's a big get to get them away from Nike. But, I think they're kind of more along the lines of a Miami, Texas A&M. There's some, there's some other schools in there that could have an argument if you want to be the flagship of Adidas schools. And Nebraska would be along those lines too. So, I don't think they've done enough to be clearly the number one of that group.
0977 brings up a good point. Rutgers is switching away from Adidas this year. Do you remember why that's happening, Bach? Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey.
Okay.
They were Nike kids on the EYBL circuit, and they wanted to wear their Nike gear.
So they switched to Nike?
Adidas said, no, if you're bringing these athletes, we
bring in Nike guys,
and they're wearing Nike. That's breaking our agreement.
Well, fair enough.
For 1 year. Let's not fail to reiterate, Rutgers didn't make the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
With 2 top 10 draft picks on their team.
Yeah. Well, Ace Bailey, maybe if he was 6'10", they would have made it.
If he was truly 6'10", indeed. One last kind of funny note to wrap up the show on here, Bach. Coming out of Auburn, not an Adidas school, an Under Armour school, doing their own thing. One of the On3 people for Auburn says, since we spoke with Derek Nix and Ken Austin yesterday, just to reiterate Auburn's play calling plan. Derek Nix handles first down strategy and play calling. Kent Austin handles third down strategy and play calling. Okay. You have a first down offensive coordinator. You have a third down offensive coordinator. So that leaves you with 2 real questions. Number one, who calls the plays on second down? Apparently it's Hugh Freeze. And who's the actual offensive coordinator? No one knows. So literally, Auburn has 3 different play callers for each of the first 3 primary downs of an offensive series. But Hugh Freeze can overrule a play call at any time.
Okay.
Auburn!
Yeah.
What?
And this, of course, coming off a 6-7 and 5-7 season under Coach Freeze there so far. Man, what a mess. I mean, I can kind of understand it, third down. Obviously, if you're kind of preparing for third down, it's like think of a, 2 steps ahead type of thing, playing chess, not checkers. If you're really preparing for third down as first and second down happen, I guess, but I don't know if I would designate that. I mean, you might have a guy, you could have a guy kind of behind the scenes, doing that. So I don't know. I wouldn't.
Yeah, you have an analyst do it.
Right.
Funnel the plays through a play call.
Somebody kind of prepare for that. That is very strange. I have not heard that. Maybe it'll be wildly successful, but I highly doubt it.
It is Auburn after all. They're a dark horse though, Bach. They're always a dark horse. Is Auburn the Nebraska of the SEC?
Yes, right now. And they are. I mean, they spend as much on coaches as Nebraska has over the last two plus decades.
To hire them and get rid of them.
And yeah, they're going to have to do it again, actually.
That's the way things are trending. Bach, appreciate it for you stepping in as always, my good friend. We will turn it over to you and Carricker. What's he got on the docket today?
We'll see. I mean, he's as he comes in usually right around this time is he's got a top freshman that he thinks is standing out in camp. So stay tuned for that. And then his reaction to Mike Eckler's wonderful press conference.
There we go. That'll be the Adam Carricker Show, of course, with Jake Bakoven, and then Bach in the black shirt after that. For Bach, I'm Austin. I'll be back with you for Old School at 3. Talk to you soon.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Fuhrer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Fuhrer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Above and Beyond Roofing and Construction reminds listeners to please get out and donate to our military, whether it be a care package sent overseas or a blood donation right here at home. Every little bit helps the troops. Don't forget the brave men and women that put their lives on the line each and every day for our very own. Above and Beyond Roofing and Construction, serving our area with pride and integrity. For all your roofing and construction needs and more, Above and Beyond Roofing and Construction, on the air because they care.
Play ball! Pitch the perfect idea for a family outing or date night with tickets to the next Salt Dogs game. Nothing says summer fun like an action-packed evening at Haymarket Park. Come root for the home team with a hot dog and a cold drink. Plus, visit saltdogs.com to learn about special events and promotions, including group discounts. Don't miss out on the thrill and excitement of a Salt Dogs win. Visit saltdogs.com to reserve your tickets today.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Harvest season is coming, and Acres has discounted many of our late model John Deere combines. Get thousands in discounts and upgrade for this year's harvest. Plus, you could save even more with interest rates starting as low as 1.9% on select units. Low interest rates combined with our huge discounts, there's not a better time